Hey everyone, welcome back to another crypto analysis video. Today we're diving into XRP's market situation for April 17th, 2026. You know what I've noticed? Even when the market's scared, some coins just keep surprising us. Let's see what XRP has been up to, shall we? Oh, before we start, I need to mention this analysis is based on an AI-generated report. I'm not a financial expert, just someone who loves looking at market data. So please, use this as reference only and remember, investing is always your own responsibility, okay? So let's talk numbers. XRP is currently sitting pretty at $1.4489. And here's the thing, it's up 4.16% in the last 24 hours. Now that's what I call swimming against the tide. The trading volume hit 155.46 million XRP, which tells me people are definitely paying attention. But wait, here's something really interesting. XRP ETF net inflows reached $17.1 million today. And get this, XRP has delivered 3x returns compared to Bitcoin. That's quite impressive, don't you think? Now let's get a bit technical, but I'll keep it simple. The RSI is at 56.53, which is basically neutral territory with a slight upward lean. The MACD just turned positive at 0.0088. That's usually a good sign for short-term momentum. Here's what caught my attention though. XRP broke above its Bollinger Band upper limit at $1.3819. That shows real strength. However, there's a catch. The price is still 26.77% below its 200-day moving average at $1.9075. So we're still in correction territory for the bigger picture. Looking at the bigger world picture, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has been making waves in global meetings, signaling stable monetary policies ahead. The S&P 500 just hit its second all-time high this week at 704.1.28, and NASDAQ climbed to 102.70. You know what's interesting? XRP has a positive correlation of 0.4430 with NASDAQ, but only a weak negative correlation with the dollar. So when the dollar weakens, XRP might just benefit. The VIX is sitting low at 18.05, which means volatility is pretty calm right now. Now this is where things get exciting. Coinbase's CPO just predicted that the Clarity Act will face a full Senate vote next month. That's huge for regulatory clarity. And wait, Charles Schwab announced they're launching direct crypto trading for their 39 million customers within weeks. 39 million! Can you imagine that kind of access? However, stablecoin regulation is facing some delays, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Here's something fascinating. The Fear and Greed Index is at 23, which screams extreme fear. But XRP? It's just doing its own thing, rallying against the trend. XRP search trends are at a moderate 34, while macroeconomic trends sit low at 9. ETF and regulatory trends jump to 17, showing people are getting interested in institutional investments. The FOMO spread is only at 2.0, which is actually healthy. No overheating here. Let me tell you about the whale activity. We saw 788 whale transactions with 1.023 trillion XRP traded. That's a lot of big money moving around. Regular transactions hit 891, so retail folks are active too. This massive whale volume lines up perfectly with those $17.1 million ETF inflows I mentioned earlier. The institutional money is definitely flowing in systematically. Getting into the wave analysis, and I know this sounds a bit complex, but bear with me. Elliott wave analysis suggests XRP is in wave C, which is a corrective phase. The Wyckoff analysis puts it in distribution phase, stage A, with 39% confidence. Now normally, stage A means big investors might be taking profits, but those continued ETF inflows tell a different story. It's like the market is breaking its own rules. Here's what the AI models are predicting, and this is really interesting. Short term, 1 day out, they're seeing $1.4878 with a 51.4% chance of going up. But medium term, 7 days out, Well, they're predicting $1.2992 with a 69.3% chance of going down. However, and this is the big one, long-term, 30 days out, they're projecting $1.8004 with a whopping 99.1% probability of upward movement. That's a 24% gain from here if it hits. Now let's be realistic about the risks, because there are quite a few. First, that medium-term correction risk, 69.3% chance of dropping to $1.30 within a week. The 26.77% deviation from that 200-day average is concerning. Plus, with the fear and greed index at 23, market anxiety could spill over. Regulatory uncertainty around stablecoin rules might create some bumps, and we can't ignore that wick-off distribution phase, suggesting big players might unwind positions. So what's my take on all this? I'm leaning toward a partial buy with staged entry. Here's the thing. Those institutional inflows and Charles Schwab's announcement are pretty compelling. Plus, the Clarity Act vote could be a game changer. For entry, I'd look at $1.42 to $1.44 as the primary zone. If we get that predicted correction, $1.30 to $1.32 could be a sweet spot for adding more. I'd set a stop loss at $1.25. That's where things might get really ugly. Targets? First at $1.60. Final target at that AI predicted $1.80. But remember, don't go all in at once. Stage your entries, especially with that potential 7-day correction looming. And that's a wrap on today's XRP analysis. The market might be fearful, but sometimes that's when opportunities hide in plain sight. If you found this helpful, please hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. It really helps me out. What do you think about XRP's chances? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and happy trading.